Hey there, my loves. I am Lady Kimberly Michelle, and welcome back to Soul Health Matters. Now, before we begin, let's fully arrive in this moment so that we can get all that we showed up to get today, okay? All right. Now, I want you to inhale slowly, deeply through your nose. Now, hold it for 2 seconds. And go ahead and release it slowly through your mouth. Again, now we're going to inhale courage. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold it for a second. And now we're going to exhale slowly through the mouth. Self-judgment. One more time. Inhale readiness. Go ahead, inhale through your nose. Hold it deeply. Let your chest get really tight. Hold it. And now we're going to exhale slowly the need to prove. I love those cleansing breaths because it gives us an opportunity to release the things that are in us that don't serve us. Now, let's begin. So today we are covering the next guiding principle called doing is success. Now, this became my number one core business principle about 6 years ago after some random person asked me about my book sales, right? Now, other successful and established authors will agree with you that there are some ebbs and flows to the industry of books, okay? We have our good days, our bad days, we have our good events, and we have our slow events, right? And that means we have to have a very high level of tolerance and self-awareness and self-confidence in order to keep going. Sometimes we show up with 50 books and we leave with 48, right? And so you have to have a high level of self-confidence to keep going to the next event. For most of us, the millions, they don't roll in automatically when that book first comes out. So we have to be very aware of our why in order to keep going, despite the numbers, despite the reports, despite the lack of lines that we see coming to our book table. And in my own journey, I've learned this one important lesson. There is no such thing as trying, only doing. Now, I know it may sound like I'm channeling my inner Yoda there, but there's no such thing as trying, only doing. Success is not defined by the outcome. It's defined by the action that you took to show up. Let me say something clearly to all my business owners, small business owners, aspiring entrepreneurs. Before we go any further, let me say this. Failure, it exists. Sometimes you prepare and still lose. Sometimes you launch something amazing and no one buys it. Sometimes you even love in relationship and give it your all, but it doesn't last. Sometimes you give your best effort and the results fall short. Failure is simply a part of growth. It's a part of mastery and becoming. Now, I'm not creating a false choice between success and failure. But what I am dismantling today is the habit of beating ourselves up for not achieving the result we wanted. You didn't miss the mark. You showed up and you did exactly what you were supposed to do. The results just didn't show up the way you thought they would. That doesn't mean you're not successful. Showing up is more than half the battle because most people, they never get off the bench. They never risk rejection. They never risk being seen or putting their ideas out there for everyone to see and risk failing publicly. They never risk the effort without having some type of guarantee. But if you got off the bench, faced your fear, and entered the arena and gave it your best effort, then you did that. Yeah, you did it. And doing is success. Okay, let me just tell you where this principle came from. I'm going to just let the cat out the bag, okay? Over the years, after publishing my books and hosting book signing events, people will sometimes ask me, well, how'd it go? Was it successful? And I'm always struck by that question, because what they're really asking me is, how many books did you sell? Did you sell out? Was it even worth it financially? That's what they're really asking me. But without hesitation, I've learned that every single time I respond with, yes, it was actually very successful. And here's why I say that. First of all, it's no one's business how many books I sold or the value of my business. But more importantly, after I have written a book, which often takes months, sometimes 9 to 12 months, a year, after editing, rewriting, marketing, after packing up my truck, choosing an outfit, rehearsing my talking points over and over and in my head, setting up my book signing tables, standing on my feet for hours, smiling and engaging with everyone, I refuse to say to anyone at the end of the day that I wasn't successful. Because truth be told, whether I sell out or not, let me be clear, I am successful. Sales numbers, now they do matter in business. The sales numbers are important at the end of the day. Strategy matters, growth matters, scalability matters, revenue matters, but the numbers do not define my courage. I don't let the numbers dictate how I show up to the next event. I don't let the numbers dictate if I continue the journey. The numbers, they don't measure my obedience to my purpose, because I showed up. I showed up for my calling. I showed up despite my fatigue. Hey, I drive a truck every day, 5 days a week, and I'm still out there selling books. I showed up despite my own uncertainty. It's not promised that I'm going to sell a lot of books or other products when I'm at my events. None of those things are promised, but I continue to show up because it's purpose. And it fuels me. I get so inspired and I get so much energy from simply going through the motions and the process of preparing for events, because I get to do my purpose. I get to do ministry. I get to get in front of people and have a place to engage with the public. I get to love on people. And when I get to my events, I'm thinking about the fact that, hey, I showed up. I won. I am fully present in this moment today. And that satisfies my soul for the entire event. So when people approach me at events, that's the energy I'm working with. I'm happy. I'm full of joy. I'm excited because I get to do this thing, which is actually my dream. Now, sometimes when I go to the events, I may pray with one soul. I may only sell 1 or 2 books. Sometimes I sell 50. Sometimes I have one conversation with one soul who simply needed me to be present that day. And if I change one life, including if it's just mine, I was successful. And that's all that matters in God's eyes. Avoidance is the only true failure in this world that we live in. It's not the losing, the learning. It's not stumbling. Avoidance is failure. I think I heard it said best that you're going to miss every shot you don't take. That's failure because you never got up. You never got off the bench. You never got in the game. That's failure. You can't grow from what you refuse to enter because doing is success. Success is in the doing. Now let's anchor ourselves in this message for today because I think that blessed all of you entrepreneurs out there. And we just need to let that get down in our spirit and let's soak it all up in a breathing moment. I want you to take a deep breath and hold it for a few seconds and then release it slowly. Inhale. And then exhale slowly. Now, let's anchor in this moment with some quotes. Repeat after me. Courage counts more than results. Results do not define me. I entered the arena. I showed up to the game. That is enough. Let's do that again. Repeat after me. Courage counts more than results. Results do not define me. I entered the arena. I showed up for the game. And that is enough. Now, one more time, take a deep breath and hold it. Release it slowly. Feels good, right? Now, say out loud, I showed up, therefore I succeeded. Feels good today. This week, I challenge you to measure your life differently. Don't measure yourself by the outcome. You're better than that. You're doing some hard work and we see you working. But measure the action. Send the proposal. Record the next episode. Write the next chapter. Apply for that job opportunity. Design the next dress if you're in fashion. Paint a new canvas if you're an artist. Have the conversation. Enter the arena. And if you are strengthening your inner life while you're building your outer one, then I invite you to join me in the Restored community and grab a copy of The Restored, Getting to the High Place. Because that book was created for the journey to fortify the ones who are showing up before the applause ever shows up. Now, for one final cleansing breath, inhale deeply through the nose. Hold it. And release it slowly through your mouth. Feels good. Breathe, choose, and anchor. And I'll see you next time.